New Orleans Saints, are you ready for the Eagles? Because the Eagles are coming in this weekend. How is Sean Payton? How is he going to deal with the genius of Jim Schwartz? How are you going to be able to pass on this amazing secondary that the Eagles have? How is Drew Brees going to even get a pass off with this amazing pass rush? You're going to double moonwalk our ass, ain't you? Well, before you do that, all I got to say, New Orleans Saints, is this. It's eggnog time, yo. Now, let the double moonwalking begin. Yep, the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole. Oh, demon! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy! Happy trails, Hans. Dallas still stinks. Yo, everybody, how you doing? King Dingbat here. And so, the Eagles are getting ready to go to New Orleans to face, in my opinion, the best team in the National Football League, the New Orleans Saints. Now, Eagle fans, I've got some good news for you, and I've got some bad news for you, okay? I've got some good news and some bad news. So I'm going to give you the bad news first, because I like to get bad news out of the way. The bad news is this. I don't see the Eagles winning this game. I don't see it, and I have to be totally 100% honest with you. I don't see it happening. I think it's going to be very, very, very hard. Now, when I say that, that doesn't mean it doesn't tear me up inside. It doesn't mean that doesn't bother me. And it doesn't mean that I'm hoping the Eagles don't pull this out. I am hoping with all my heart that they pull this out, that they win this game. But there's nothing that I've seen from the Eagles this year that makes me feel confident about this game, okay? When the Eagles were the champions, defending champions, before this season ever even began, I thought this would be a loss. And I still think this is a loss from everything I've seen. Now, the Eagles can go in and win this game. It's not impossible. And if they did win, it would be a nice surprise, but it wouldn't be shocking. I mean, it can happen. And just like I said about Dallas last week, a desperate team, a corner team, is a dangerous team. And that is the one thing the Eagles have going. But the bad news is I can't say the Eagles are going to win this game. And it tears me up inside. But it's the truth. Now, I'm going to be streaming live. I'm going to be hoping. I'm going to be rooting. And hey, anything can happen. I hope they prove me wrong. Now, the good news is this. There's a lot of people saying that this is a must-win situation, that if the Eagles don't win this game, it's over. And they're putting all the stock and they're putting everything into this one game, which is a horrible matchup for the Eagles in a really tough situation, a really tough place to play. And they're saying if the Eagles don't win, it's over. That ain't true, okay? That is not true. The Eagles can lose this game and still win the division. And they're still in the division because of this. They're 2 games behind the Redskins with 2 games to play the Redskins. They got to play the Redskins twice. They got to play Dallas again. They got to play the Giants. And I believe if the Eagles win those division games and can take care of their division going forward, and they can split between New Orleans and LA, the Eagles will win the division. And I think the easier game is actually the Rams game over the Saints game, because the Saints is a harder place to play than in LA. So I think the truth of the matter is that this season isn't over with this game. And that's the good news, because this is a tough game and this is a tough spot for the Eagles. Now, when I look at this game, I look at the Saints offense, okay? They have Michael Thomas, one of the top wide receivers in the league. They got Alvin Kamara. They got Ingram. Those running backs are probably the best tandem running backs in the National Football League. They got Drew Brees, a guy who can get the ball off quick. He doesn't make mistakes. And this offense is a high-powered offense. They score a lot of points every week, okay? Now, it's very hard for me to imagine any way in which this defense shuts them down or stops them from scoring. They haven't been able to stop other people who are not nearly as talented as the New Orleans Saints. So it's hard for me to imagine the Eagles being able to stop the New Orleans Saints. It's just the way it is. And then when you look at the Saints defense, they are number one against the run. Now, the Eagles don't have a running game anyways, but it's time to get Josh Adams more involved, and I think Doug is finally coming around to that idea. But they are number one against the run. The one thing you can do is you can throw on the New Orleans Saints. You can throw on the New Orleans Saints. So when I look at the Eagles and I look at how do the Eagles beat the New Orleans Saints, how do we pull this off? Well, to me, you're going to have to have a huge offensive game. You're going to have to outscore them. You're going to have to match them mano free mano, just like in the Super Bowl when we matched the Patriots almost score for score. That's what it's going to take. The Eagles are going to have to score a lot of points. And if they can run the ball and they can keep like long, sustained drives going and go down and score touchdowns and keep Drew Brees and keep that offense off the field, they'll be in it. Now, what I'm hoping in this game, okay, from the Eagles' perspective is I just want to get into the fourth quarter. I want to be late in the fourth quarter with a chance to win the game. Give us the ball with 2 minutes left in the game with a chance to win. And I like our chances. But we got to be in this game going into the fourth quarter. If we do that, I think we have a chance to win, obviously. But the Saints are a high-powered team. They're a good team. And that's just the truth of the matter. I hate picking against the Eagles. I hate it. I hate it with all my heart. But it's the truth. The truth is I don't know how we win this game. You know, I think Carson Wentz has to raise his level of performance. He has to carry this team, and he has to go in and go man for man with Drew Brees. It's the only way. And Drew Brees has a lot more weapons. He has a lot more to work with than Carson Wentz. But we got to find a way to get Golden Tate more involved. We got to get Shawn going. And I'm going to say this. Doug Peterson has to help Carson Wentz out. He has to help with the play calling. Some of the play calling against Dallas was just horrible. It was horrible. And, you know, if the Eagles offense can get this going and score points and keep up with the New Orleans Saints late into the fourth quarter, then maybe you can get a situation where your defense can get a turnover. Something can happen. But I think that's what it's going to take, because this Saints team is going to score on us. They are going to score a lot of points. And if we go down 7-0 early, 10-0 early, something like that, you got to hang in there. You got to hold on, hope that this offense can get it going, because I really don't think this defense is going to do anything to win this game. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Maybe because the Saints scored 52 points, I believe, last week. They had a lot of points the week before. Maybe they're due for an off game. Maybe they're due and they'll take us lightly. Who knows? But, you know, the truth of the matter is, I got to keep this honest. I got to keep this honest with you. I don't know how we win this game. I don't know, especially with the way we've played this year. If we would have come out and scored and beat the crap out of Dallas like I had thought we would, I might feel a little bit better about this game, but there's nothing that I've seen all year that makes me think we're going to go out and score 34 points and somehow keep up with the Saints. So it's hard. I hate picking against them, but it's the honest truth, and I have to keep it honest with you. I think the Eagles lose this week. Now, like I said, if they lose this week, all hope is not lost. The division is still up for grabs. Redskins got a tough game against the Texans, and the Eagles still play them twice. They still play Dallas again. And those division games and splitting with New Orleans or LA will determine who wins this division. If the Eagles can do that, they can win those division games and split between the Saints and the Rams. I think they win this division. And I think they got a shot to do that. That is something I think that can happen. And if they somehow pull this game off, if the Eagles beat the Saints, then you can really make the argument that this team is about to go on a run, that they might have turned a corner, and here we go. That would be that big of a win for this team. But hopefully this team knows the situation they are in. They come out, they're desperate, they're in the corner, and they come out punching, and they play aggressive, and we see some of the things that made them great in 2017 again in this game when it matters. But yeah, from my perspective, I think the Saints are going to probably win this game. I think it's going going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to probably be 31-28 New Orleans Saints. Hopefully the Eagles, hopefully they can pull this out. But this is a tough game, and I just got to keep it real with you. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.